The following is a production of peanutbutterdisaster.com and may contain views and language not suitable for all listeners. Audience discretion is advised.
Hello everybody and welcome to Smark My Words, Peanut Butter Disaster's premier wrestling podcast. I'm KiraKennedy alongside my broadcast colleague Mean Michael Keane. Unfortunately, Tex is not with us again this week. He recovered from his broken heart and superkick related injuries, but then Sin Cara happened.
Oh, that Sin Cara.
Did you know Sin Cara is Spanish for you're eliminated? It's
Wait,
not,
true?
But somebody needs to be the JBL with Tex gone.
Ah, you motherfucker. Hi everybody. As mentioned, I'm Michael Keane, and I am a guy. The guy, in fact.
Yes, as opposed to Roman, who is the broom.
So, today we're going to be talking about our Extreme Rules 2016 predictions. Isn't that right, Kira?
Yes, it is, and I am not looking forward to this show.
Really?
To quote George Carlin, this looks like it's going to be about as exciting as watching flies fuck. In fact, that's the promo.
I don't know. I think there's a few quality matches to look forward to. You've got Ambrose and Jericho, and well, New Day has a match, so that's always nice. And
this is true.
And Ambrose and Jericho are on there, and Cesaro will be doing some stuff.
Yes, unfortunately, he's going to be doing some stuff with The Miz, who instantly kills heat.
Oh, that's mean. The Miz is a fun heel. He's a fun guy. He grows on people.
To be honest, and this is from somebody, I used to love The Miz, and he's actually grown off of me. So, take with that what you will.
All right, so recently, the Raw product has been admittedly not the best.
It's typical post-WrestleMania slack.
Yeah, it's too bad that they're not like going full tilt with this Shane McMahon co-running Raw thing. I mean, there's a few fun little moments where he and Steph, decide things together and what have you, but yeah, it's really just more the same, and I can understand why you would be a little trepidatious about this particular Extreme Rules, because we haven't really had anything proven to be successful in this post-WrestleMania 32 world.
Yeah, and to be honest, it looks like things are just getting ready to go back to the way they were, because in 2 weeks, guess who's coming back?
I don't know.
John Cena!
Ah, John Cena is coming back, isn't he? Oh my gosh, that's exciting. I'm excited about that. I love John Cena. He's been missed.
Yeah, it is. He's definitely going to get a warm reception back. Like, even briefly at WrestleMania, he got a nice little reception. It's like, oh hey, Cena's back. Now we can stop cheering for Roman.
Yeah, I kind of, I don't know. Are
they cheering for Roman?
That's a good question. I don't know if they were cheering for Roman or if that was just piped in. So I really hope that John Cena, when he comes back, just like does a "this is my yard" type of thing and beats the fuck out of Roman Reigns. I don't know why he would. It doesn't matter. I just want him to stop.
He's got a punchable face.
Oh, he does. Yes. I need John Cena to come in and stop this ridiculousn's because it's way out of hand. Just because you can put the belt on someone doesn't mean that they need to have it. But we'll talk about that. So do you want to just go through the list and make this a nice, short, succinct episode with our predictions?
Yeah, so we'll start with the pre-show, as always. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin, 6002.
Yeah.
Let's face it, I mean, there's no reason Ziggler should win this at this point. He won it payback, even though he shouldn't have. The first match ended in a double count out. There's no reason Baron Corbin should not win this. And yet somehow, WWE always seems to prove us wrong.
Question. Since I watched the shortened version of Raw, and I don't really watch much of SmackDown, where has this storyline been taking place, and what's the deal with it right now?
If I could be completely honest, I skipped last week's Raw, and I kind of was playing Pokemon during most of this week's Raw. There were very few segments that piqued my interest enough for me to actually look up.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to assume that it is a non-entity, hence its place on the pre-show. I'm going to say Corbin wins this for no reason other than, hey, come on, guys.
Throw him a bone.
Yeah.
And also 50-50 booking.
Do something with this guy. I mean, I get it. He's not the most exciting talent around. I'll admit that much.
Yes.
But he's still a quality heel that you could very easily do a lot with, whether that be, bringing him into the Wyatts or giving him his own, punkish, not CM punkish, but just punk rock type persona to fuck with people, whatever. It doesn't matter. But he has a really great, not great character, but he has a good character who's fairly formidable. He has, I've noticed more and more that he has this thing where he isn't terribly confident sometimes in the ring. But hey, he's newer. He didn't grow up a wrestler. He came here from a football background. Just let him be imposing, for fuck's sake. And part of that is, let him win the fake fight. Just let him win a fake fight.
Don't just let him win. He has to dominate.
Yeah, let him fucking ruin Ziggler. Like, I love Ziggles. I love him. But just let him just fucking destroy
Let
Ziggles.
Ziggler do what he does best. Flop around like a fish out of water.
Exactly. Drives me crazy. So I'm gonna be optimistic and say Corbin on this one. Are you saying?
I'm going to say Corbin too, but I will not be surprised if WWE tries to give it to Ziggler because fuck WWE.
All right. So what's next on this big old card of ours?
Up next, let's go with the U.S. title match. Kalisto, the United States champion, versus Rusev. And much like his feud with the Ryback, it seems like it's going to go one way, but for all we know, it's going to end up just like his feud with the Ryback.
Well, I would say that the inverse of that is Ryback. It seems like they were a little uncertain about him more recently for obvious reasons.
Yes.
I'm not sure how far back that goes, but if it goes back very far, then there's a reason why he was used essentially as Kalisto fodder. So, I mean, I don't see why. I mean, okay. I think that if Kalisto can realistically beat the fuck out of Rusev, if he can defeat him, if he can use his small man antics to defeat the big giant, do the whole David and Goliath story, that's great. I would love to see that. I also think that since we're going into Money in the Bank, I'm going to say, and I'm probably going to regret this because every time I make a decision on these things, I always fail miserably, but I'm going to say that Rusev goes over on this one, and it goes to Money in the Bank where maybe Kalisto gets the belt back. I don't know. Or they leave Kalisto behind and bring in someone else. But I think the championship will change hands for a big spectacle at Money in the Bank.
As much as I would rather see Rusev with the title, just going off of history and for whatever reason, just the WWE's backward logic, I feel like Kalisto's gonna come out on top for this one.
And that makes perfect sense. I'm the eternal optimist, so I don't know. Fucking...
Yeah, completely understandable there. Alright, from one meaningless mid-card title, we move on to the next. It is a fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. The Miz versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro versus Sami Zayn. And this one I think is a little harder to call.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Cesaro's been on a bit of not a winning streak, but he's been on a style streak, a cool streak, an awesome streak, whatever you want to call it. I'll say Cesaro is going to take this, only because I feel like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that's a feud that's going to go on for a while, probably into SummerSlam, and the Miz is not winning this. Of course, I've said that before. But yes. I'm going to say that in twice in the same year is highly unlikely. So
twice in the same month.
Oh yeah, twice in the same month. So I'm gonna go with Cesaro because I feel like KO and Zayn, they have their own separate thing going on. Now, I mean, you could reverse this on me very easily, and and say that, KO or Zayn will take it, and then that'll be their big feud, which would make sense.
That's exactly what I'm going to say.
All right.
Because I think because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn is getting so hot, I think Kevin Owens will win by shenanigans pinning Sami Zayn, which will lead to, or even pinning The Miz, while Sami Zayn is just barely misses out on breaking up the pinfall, and that's going to lead to them feuding over the IC title. Okay. Even though you can just easily put both of them in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I was gonna not let that do its thing. I think that that makes sense. I am again being optimistic because that's the heel thing to do, apparently. But
yes, how dare you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cesaro, partly out of hope that he will get a push. He has been again doing pretty well. They are trying to push him to some degree, and I feel like this is the perfect way to do that. But yeah, I mean, your way makes sense too, certainly.
Yeah. So from there, we move on to the WWE Tag Team Championship match with the New Day versus the Vaudevillains. And I am conflicted on this one, like I have been with every match the Vaudevillains have been involved with.
Yeah, I love the heel thing that they're doing, first of all.
Yeah.
The New Day has transitioned into face territory much better than I anticipated. And I really would be curious to know how this would go down if it wasn't for Enzo's injury. I know we talked about it, the plan not really changing all that much, but I feel like it would be smart to kind of switch things up a bit at this point and give the New Day something to strive for. So I'm going to say Vaudevillains take it, although I wouldn't be surprised if New Day came out triumphant. I think that this might be one of those things that they take to Money in the Bank, and the Vaudevillains might be a very brief tag team, or might briefly be the tag team champions.
I think it's going to be the Vaudevillains too, but for very juvenile reasons. I did not like that segment on Monday, and I'm pissed that the New Day made me hate a segment involved with them, even though it's WWE's fault.
You don't like the time travel bit?
No. The only part that was funny was the throwback to the Jamaican sensation.
Yeah, that was fun. It's fun. Come on, Kira. Enjoy fun. Don't be Canadian.
I had to be Canadian here. I tweeted I did not like this. It was one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
It was outrageously stupid. That's what's so fun about it. They're the one group I can really get behind doing just ridiculous bullshit. It's not like, I mean, I think that actually having that effect that the camera was doing, or nothing, well, the system was doing, was kind of silly, especially how long it went. But I don't really see a problem with that. That was just a silly, fun thing. And again, the Jamaican sensation in like 2009 was my best year. That was great. That was great stuff. Yeah. But okay, whatever. Canada versus America. I get it. We have a better sense of humor than you do. Shit happens. Fair enough.
Well, we did give the world Martin Short, so I do agree with that.
All right, what are we going to finally disagree on? Come on, let's bring it.
How about the WWE Women's Championship match, a submission match between Charlotte and Natalya, and with the stipulation, if Ric Flair disregards his ban from ringside, Charlotte will lose her title. I think they're missing one factor here.
What's that?
Lil Nate.
I hope not. I really hope not. Oh,
I
God.
don't think he'll factor in. Like, if anything, they'll probably learn and they'll keep Lil Nate out of there. But I do think Charlotte will retain through some sort of shenanigans.
I'm going to go with Natalya, because I'm contrarian. Yes. Also, I really want Natalya to win.
The Americans cheering for the Canadian wrestler, the Canadians cheering for the American wrestler.
Yeah, I fucking, every time we go through this, because Charlotte's been in every fucking pay-per-view for, God, I don't know how many months now, and since
she won the title, basically.
Yeah, and I don't care. I don't. She's fine. She is a very good wrestler, but
the only reason I think why I think they'll keep the title on Charlotte, besides the fact that Ric Flair is her father.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a second. hold the phone, stop the train, throw mama. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you telling me? Are you telling me that fucking Charlotte? You think that Charlotte?
Look at the nose. You
the
can see
Charlotte is Ric Flair's daughter. Is that what you're telling me right now? That is such fucking bullshit. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself, you communist little piece of shit. Fuck you and fuck your queen. God damn it. This is fucking ridiculous. Fuck. God, get this fucking microphone away from me, because I'm fucking tired of this shit. You fucking pull off week after week lying about a beautiful, young, majestic fairy woman like Charlotte and her parentage. You fucking Canadian cocksucker.
Well, the other reason I think that they're going to keep the title on Charlotte is hopefully to have her either feud with Bayley, should they have a suitable top babyface women's wrestler to replace her in NXT, or Sasha in either at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam.
I do think that a title change at Money in the Bank would probably be a better idea, but I feel like, I don't know why I keep thinking that the WWE needs to do these things to make their shows more special when they don't actually care to make their shows special, when they can't even be bothered to change the fucking look of the show. But I'm going to say Natalya, partly because my gut says Charlotte, and hey, my gut's been fucking wrong before.
Well, we've all had... Anytime we've gone with our gut responses, we've tended to be wrong.
I've been very wrong.
Except for that one time I got a half a point, but...
Okay, so... And this is good, because this means that if there's, like, one of us actually has to win, because we have two different opinions.
Yes.
All right, so what's next?
Up next, it is the Asylum match between Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho. And while this angle definitely intrigued me on Raw, the very first thing I thought when I saw that cage being dropped was, when the fuck did Vince Russo start writing for WWE again?
Aww. Come on, it's not that bad.
It's not. It's grown. The idea has grown on me, but at the same time, I'm thinking, like, does Abyss know about this? Does TNA know that they're stealing their... But, it has the potential to be a brutal match. It also has the potential to be a repeat of the street fight from WrestleMania. It
does. I like to think that creative looks at that criticism and considers the fact that maybe they should try a different approach. I can't see Jericho getting super fucked up. Then again, there's not going to be gushing blood anywhere, so that's, hardly a concern.
Of course not. But please, WWE, let these guys bleed in this match.
Yeah, hopefully there's a little smidge of blood. And hopefully they utilize the setup, I guess. The weird fucking setup. Which, if you haven't seen this, if you've skipped Raw, it's a normal cage, but on top there are a whole bunch of implements, including, I believe, a mop, the potted plant, a straitjacket, and then some actual weaponry. I think that the bat covered in barbed wire. I just forgot her name.
Barbie.
I don't know how I forgot Barbie's name, but Barbie's up there. And there's a few other things. And it's the Ambrose Asylum. Wow.
Yeah. The one thing I did notice, though, that besides saying that there was no escaping the asylum, they never really talked about any kind of stipulation for the match.
Yeah, they didn't give anything, which it might just be...
According to Wikipedia, it's just saying the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. So, that might just be it.
Yeah. But I'm really excited. This is for me. I think that Reigns' styles will probably
Ambrose
be
in a weapons match. It's going to be awesome.
Well, I mean, we've seen that promise fail before. But I am excited for this. I think that it has potential to be the match of the night, or at least the second best. And we have two great guys. Their matches have generally been pretty good. I'm excited, and I hope that it doesn't, pull insert major Dean Ambrose feud here.
You hope he doesn't grab a monitor.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't grab a monitor. I was very happy to see there were no monitors or electronics up there on top of the cage. But I mean, I'm very excited, and I firmly believe that Ambrose will go over on this.
Yeah, I think Ambrose will go over too, only because I'm still hoping that, Jericho is going to be, I hope Jericho isn't going on an ego trip here where he has to, or the WWE will allow Jericho to do what he wants, which is probably put over Ambrose. Probably why he wanted to do this feud in the first place. And I am going to say Ambrose too, to be optimistic for once in my fucking life.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense for Jericho to go over. Again, we've said this before, but yeah, let's hope. So what's next?
Up next, provided there aren't any last-minute additions to the card, like R-Truth versus the Social Outcasts or whatever, or the Golden Truth versus Breezango, stupidest name ever, stupidest angle ever. One of the main reasons I hated this week's Raw. It is Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles in an... Oh, wait, there was one other match before that, actually, that was just added yesterday.
Ooh.
The Usos versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The only reason I'm going to say Gallows and Anderson, besides the fact that it's their pay-per-view debut, was the old lose on TV, win on pay-per-view theory.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, they decided the Usos should pin Carl Anderson. So I'm hoping that the Usos get totally destroyed in this match.
I would hope so. I think this might be directly related to whatever the outcome of the main event is. It might be, I would assume, the inverse of whatever that outcome is. But just to be boring and to add a little spice to this wager that doesn't really exist, I will say, and it hurts my fucking heart to say this, I will say that the Usos win.
Get out. You're fired. I'll do this show by myself.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's such a bad taste. Oh, it's like raw sewage and Courtney Love's vagina in my mouth right now. Oh, God. Oh.
Well,
okay, I'm good. I'm fine. Okay. Oh.
So, while Mike collects his thoughts and tries to keep his dinner down, we actually move on to the main event now. Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles in an Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I don't want to be the boy who cried Balor, but it's getting very close to NXT TakeOver, which is most likely going to be his last appearance in NXT. Is it possible we see a debut from Balor, possibly screwing AJ out of the title?
I would like that. I think they'll save it for Money in the Bank. I mean, it seems, I think this would be the golden opportunity, or like golden time to do that. But I don't know, the track record recently has been sort of a fuck the lesser pay-per-views kind of thing. And in
recently.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, the trend for the last few years has been to fuck the lesser pay-per-views. Extreme Rules is a lesser pay-per-view. And, I don't see this being another 2012 is what I'm saying. So I'm going to have to go with no on that one. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to be optimistic here, which is always the wrong approach.
Yes.
And I'm going to say that more than likely Styles will finally overcome Reigns cleanly, maybe. I'm not going to say cleanly.
No. I'll be honest. The Balor thing is wishful thinking, but let's face it, Reigns took like 17 finishers last pay-per-view and put AJ away after a spear and a Superman punch. He's not losing here. I hate to say it, but he's not losing here. And he will continue to be mildly smug until I'm gonna say SummerSlam when someone cashes in Money in the Bank on him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, I like to play dangerously. It never works. I always end up fucked in the butt. But
although, I would also like to give a pre-prediction to what I think might happen at Money in the Bank.
Oh,
because if Balor doesn't debut here, I still think he's going to screw AJ Styles, but maybe AJ's in Money in the Bank. It's very similar to what happened when CM Punk started his feud with Paul Heyman, where Balor and the club come down and attack AJ right when he's about to grab the briefcase. And that leads to a feud with him.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. That's fun. This is me again being wishful. Every time we fucking do this, I'm wishful about things, and every time I fail miserably. I don't know. I'm hoping for one of those rare WWE crazy, awesome, positive surprises. I've just gone cuckoo, I guess, because I think Styles will take it, and not up the butt. Like, he'll take the title.
I think if he does not take it here, if he does take it here, it will be a heel turn, and it will prove that he was with the club all along. And I feel like he's in a situation where he has to turn heel, because the way he's been booked ever since the club debuted, if he doesn't turn heel, he's gonna look like a total fucking moron.
That's fair. I'd be okay with him turning heel. That's fine. I think that him having a little club, a Bullet Club, if you will, would be a good thing. I think that him and Gallows and Anderson just fucking tearing shit up would be really fun and interesting. The downside of that, of course, is that Reigns would, I assume, stay face, and I don't know, fucking just be the champ to end all champs. Or like champs my ass.
The sad thing is, the WWE seems to be finally booking Reigns the way he should be booked. Just not talking, being a total badass, not telling nursery rhymes, not telling stories about giants and beanstalks. And yet it's worse now, because it's almost like too little too late.
Yeah, suffer and succotash, it's awful.
So, I guess the general consensus here is pretty predictable. Very few twists we're probably going to get here. Probably just going to be your general non-Big Four pay-per-view, although even the Big Four pay-per-views have been shit these last...
Oh, shit's a harsh word. They've been okay, mostly. They've been fine. WrestleMania was fine. It wasn't good, but it was fine. We got some good wrestling out of it. It was a spectacle. There were some cool things that happened. Triple H had an army of mouthless fucks. I mean, it was fun. I'm holding out hope that one day I'll be right and WWE will be like, oh, we should throw in some cool and crazy surprises. This is how the WWE talks. Yippee-ki-yay, over there.
Well, with all of that out of the way, if you guys would like to follow me on social media, I am on Twitter at KiraKennedyHNR, Tumblr at KiraKennedyHNR.tumblr.com, and of course you can always check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/KiraKennedyReviews. And as always, we'd like to check out... Actually, I forgot, Sorry, I'm so used to doing a Let's Plays. Go ahead, Mike, you gotta plug your social media.
You fucking Canadian cunt bag. You can follow me at Michael Keane on Twitter. That's at Michael Keane. Exactly how it's spelled. You should know by now. Come on. You're a fan. Hey.
I also show the stuff right at the end of the video portion.
Just fucking keep on talking, you Canadian bitch. You can also find me on peanutbutterdisaster.com, where I have a lovely new show called Michael's Movie Show, where I review movies and talk about stuff relating to movies, because I love movies. Who'd have thunk it?
Watch it. It's really good.
It's so good. It's fucking great. Oh, yeah. Right in the butt. Oh, yeah. You can also, I don't know. Oh, you can check out my other podcast, Season Pass. The original podcast all about TV shows, lasted one season or less. We just put out our review of the Owl pilot, and next week we're doing Undeclared. I mean, it's fun as all get out. That's with me and Jake Salvage and Casey Cowd. Well, in the future, Casey Cowd, not the Owl, but in future episodes, Casey Cowd. So it's a good time, had by all, and y'all should just keep on checking it out. I'm Southern.
And of course, you can also follow the show on Twitter at PBDSmark and at Facebook.com/PBDSmark, or you go to a little Facebook search bar thingy and type in Smark My Words podcast. I run the Facebook page, Mike runs the Twitter, we talk about wrestling because that's what the fucking show is.
Yeah.
So, until next week, where we are hopefully surprised in a good way from Extreme Rules, for my broadcast colleague, me, Michael Keane, I'm Kira Kennedy, and thank you for listening.
Fuck you, Kira. Good stuff.
Smark My Words is hosted by Kira Kennedy, Text Rockwolf, and Michael Keane. Our opening theme is Temper by LTGrayUltimo, who you can find out more about at facebook.com/L_T_Gray_Ultimo, as well as soundcloud.com/LTGrayUltimo, all one word. Our ending theme is Summon the Rock by Kevin MacLeod, who you can find out more about at Incompetech.com. The following has been a production of PeanutButterDisaster.com.
Peanut butter disaster.